This is a toy spot on the Spectacular Spider-Man web-charged Doctor Octopus. Now, before we actually look at the figure, what do we always do? We're going to look at the packaging first. The packaging features, well, the character features bendable tentacles, and a very interesting character. I mean, the fact that you can't find this action figure in very many stores, and it was actually only because of the good graces of one of my friends that he happened to have come across this in one of the local stores, and he picked it up for me. So you know who you are. Thank you very much once again for grabbing this guy for me. He always seems to have better luck finding these things than I do. But as you can see, it's spider charged. It's got a spider down below, and this looks to be a blue spider with a little red abdomen. Kind of looks like it could be a black widow, though black widows don't tend to be blue. On the back of the packaging, now the other figures featured on this card are the same figures featured on the card of Shocker, and that would be the black costume Spider-Man with the removable armor. A good figure, if you ask this guy, a good figure to pick up because you can actually take this armor off and you have the traditional spider armor, or the Spider-Man figure. There's the Spider-Man with these gauntlet thingamajiggers. There's the regular costume Spider-Man, although the only difference is he's a little darker than the original released Spider-Man. And then there is a repaint of Green Goblin. Ooh. You know, I think overall I just passed on this figure. Even though he had a different glider and stuff like that, I just did not warm up to the camo paint scheme on it. But very interesting to note that Doctor Octopus is not featured at all on any of this or any of these figures here or on the back. I don't know why. Nonetheless, they decided to release this guy later on, and because there were no other figures in this particular wave, they just decided to use the same card. It's possible. I really don't know. But one thing before I actually open this guy up is I just want to point out that it is a considerably heavy figure. It is very heavy, and actually very large too. But like I said, we'll certainly get into that as we open the package up. But there's packaging on the Doctor Octopus. Let's get this guy opened up, and we'll get a closer look at the figure. So stay tuned, guys. Alright, he is out. He is out of the package. And I actually have to hold this figure because of the fact that he is very back heavy. As you can see, if I leave him, he will fall over. Maybe we'll just leave him there for the time being, and I'll show you the spider that he comes with. And as I mentioned, it kind of looks like a black widow, although black widows don't tend to be blue. But it's interesting nonetheless. I don't know if I actually will use these at all. I seem to have several of them now. I'll probably just put them in a bag somewhere. But there you go. I mean, if you like something to play with and you play with these things, I mean, you know, it's kind of neat to have a little spider. Put that to a side here for a second. And we'll look at Doctor Octopus. And what a fantastic figure this is. Fantastic. I'm so thankful that my friend was able to find this for me, because this is a far superior Doctor Octopus than the original one that was released. And you're thinking, there was an original one released? Oh man, you bet there is. I'll just move the spider out of the way. And actually, before we even look at this figure in depth, I'll bring in the original Spectacular Spider-Man Doctor Octopus. And as you can see, I think the first thing you'll notice right off the bat is how much shorter the original is versus the reissued Doctor Octopus. The head is about the same, you know, obviously the fact that this is much nicer in the face, but he's got at least the goggles and everything else. Now the one thing, and the one problem I had with the original issues of Spider-Man figures, is the fact that these all have gimmicks. And the Doctor Octopus sacrificed so much articulation and detail because they wanted to give us little pincer claws. As you can see, you can squeeze the legs and he closes his claws. It wasn't bad at the time, but the fact that you really couldn't do anything with this figure, aside from you can move his arm, and you can move his head, and you can move his leg. Oh yeah, right, you couldn't move the leg because of the gimmick. But a very disappointing figure. I mean, I know a lot of people really didn't like this figure at all, just because of the fact that they relied so heavily on a gimmick to sell this figure. And what a fantastic relief to find that they realized, hey, let's not keep this as the original Doc Ock. Let's at least make him look a little nicer. And what we ended up getting was this guy right here. So say goodbye to this Doc Ock. We'll just put him aside. And looking at this Doc Ock, once again, a fantastic figure. I mean, the detailing on him is so nice. And I mean, they went all out. The only one problem I have with this figure is its size. And I don't want to complain too much about it because of how nice the figure is, but just to kind of give you guys a size comparison, there's the original Spider-Man, and here's Doc Ock. Doc Ock really should be a little shorter. He should be probably about to his chest. Maybe a little taller. But as you can see, he's quite a bit larger. And I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I would much rather get this Doc Ock in all his glory than to get a Doc Ock that's shorter and doesn't have as much of the detail. Like I said, detail-wise, you can see the head looks really nice. He's kind of got that sneer going on there. And the one thing that they've added that Doc Ock had in the cartoon was that they gave him his trench coat back. He's got the same pants, the same shirt, really everything else as the original Doc Ock, but I do like the fact that they threw the trench coat on him. I mean, certainly a vast improvement. Now, in the way of his articulation, nothing on this figure is hindered by any sort of gimmick. So, good job guys, for giving us this Doc Ock figure. His articulation is that he has an articulated head. He can rotate back and forth. It doesn't look like you can really move it up and down, just left and right. You can move the arms back and forth, and you can rotate the elbows like so. You can't move the hand. That's the only downside. You can't move the hand on either arm, but at least if anything, you can still move the elbow. You can rotate the leg, and you can't rotate the foot, but again, that's not really a big issue with me. It doesn't really look like you can move the waist, even though it looks like it's slotted. It might just be the way it was sculpted, but at least you can move the leg. And that is it. In the way of its claws, or his arms here, the arms plug into the back, and they're all the pipe cleaner variety of arms, so you can actually bend them in any way that you wish, and you can get the arms just in the right way that you want to get them. I mean, I've tried to. It would be nice if you had like a stand where you could kind of have the arms extended out, and you could kind of have them standing on them. And maybe if you had like a stand or something you could levitate them on, that would be kind of neat. But I mean, even just to have the arms posed, I mean, it's still a fantastic looking figure. Still fantastic. I hopefully in this video I haven't needed to encourage you to buy it. I think I'm falling asleep here. I haven't needed to encourage you to buy it. I mean, certainly it's a great figure. It should speak for itself. A fantastic sculpt. The paint is incredible. The arms are nice, and there is no gimmick. There is no gimmick. So I would this reviewer would probably give this Doc Ock a solid 8. A solid 8 out of 10. And well worth picking up, if you ask me. If you've originally had this Doc Ock and you've been disappointed, then this Doc Ock is the way to go. So I'm going to wrap this up here. That was a toy spot on the Spectacular Spider-Man, and this was the re-released, much cooler Doc Ock. And with that, I'll wrap this up, and stay tuned for another spot. I'll see you guys next time. Later.